Hey y'all, thanks for tuning into the Nintendo Drive. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Or if you're getting cozy and listening to us on your podcast feed, make sure you're following and leaving us nice reviews. You can also support the show on Patreon and pick up some awesome merch. Links to those and more are in the description, but let's get the show started.
Oh, hi. Hey, everyone. A very aggressive energy coming from Sean.
I got weird energy coming tonight, everybody. Seth, just be warned. It's just me and you. You're going to have to keep me in check tonight, buddy.
You're trapped in here with me.
It's just me. Boys' room again.
Hey, look, man, if there's one constant in life, it's like Lost, the constant.
Me and you.
Know,
oh, dude.
It's Sean and Seth. Yeah.
I love Lost. I love it so much. Oh my goodness gracious. One of the perfect pilots of any TV show ever made was for Lost. That first episode of Lost, it's like, man, what do you mean pilot?
A hell of a pilot.
You were all in. There's no pilot about that. There's no like, let's make this and see what happens. Hopefully people like it. Like, you bought a plane, you tore it up and you put it on an island in Hawaii. You were all in. There's nothing pilot about it.
It was J.J. Abrams like ruled the world back then. You remember people used to call it like ABC, the Abrams Broadcasting Company or whatever.
Bad robot,
man. Yeah, he was ruling the roost back then, dude. He was
reviving Star Trek way before whatever happened with Star Wars.
Yeah, it's true. Don't get me on that.
Yeah, new Captain Kirk. I mean, you can drag me, you know.
Chris Pine.
How's that for a start? Chris Pine. You can pine. I mean.
I'm pining after Chris Pine.
Oh man, what a handsome man! Gloriously handsome, angrily handsome, actually.
Furiously handsome.
Frustratingly handsome. Yes.
How many more adjectives?
Just all bad.
Can we think of? I'm gonna go see
confusingly handsome.
I'm gonna see that Furiosa : a Mad Max saga.
Well, hopefully you can get tickets. I hear everybody's seeing that, and theaters are sold out across the country.
Is that right?
No, nobody's seeing it. It's a major box office flop. It's the end of cinema, and all is bad, and that sucks to hear. But I hope you enjoy it.
I love Fury Road. Did you see Fury Road?
Fury Road is one of the greatest movies ever made. It's a modern day classic. It's excellent. They don't make movies like that anymore. So yeah, I don't blame you. Is there one in between Furiosa and Fury Road? I feel like there was another one that I'm missing. Maybe not.
Am I right?
I have no idea.
I don't
Welcome
think
to Nerdflix and chill, y'all.
Yeah, they did do that that Mad Max video game, which was like kind of mid. It was all right.
It was all right. You know? Yep. Yeah. Very weird control scheme. If you go back to it now,
you had like a harpoon on your car and stuff.
Very weird. That. Yep. Underrated, underappreciated. Came out the same day as Phantom Pain, Metal Gear Solid 5.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Why do I know that? Why don't I know? Like, I need to know way more important things than that, but I know that right off the top of the dome. Just like, there it is.
That's
fact check it. I dare you.
Look, that's me with like Mario enemies and stuff. It's like, imagine what I could have accomplished.
You got Tatenga right up there.
Yeah. Well, imagine what I could have accomplished if I didn't just have all that rattling around in there. I am scared to think of what would happen. I shudder to think of the possibilities.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Well, I mean, Sean, we will talk about Mario tonight. Of the paper variety. There will be Paper Mario chat tonight, but before we get into that, I do have a little bit of housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
I gotta do that thing that Mitch does, where he's got like the soundboard ready to go.
Oh, Mitch has got all the whole. You should see his desk is like mega desk from The Office. It's insane.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So many. Like I said on the show last week on the Xbox Drive, I'm certain that his house. If you look at the exterior of his house on like his neighborhood block. His house is glowing, just completely
nuclear,
absolutely nuclear, and his neighbors are dim, like they got no power. It's all he's sucking all the power on the whole block.
Mitch power.
It's all Mitch power. Yeah. Yes, power your dreams.
It's all Mitch power. Mm-hmm. Well, we do indeed have some housekeeping.
Yes, we do.
Big thanks and shout outs to Toxic. our only Britney Spears themed community member, Toxic. It's a great song.
It's a great song.
Shout outs to Britney Spears.
I'm here for Britney. Yeah, you know what? Leave Britney alone. Free Britney. All of the things.
Shout outs to Britney Spears. Totally. I mean, I was about to call her underrated. She's not underrated.
Yeah, I wish. Man, starving artist over here.
Yeah, she was kind of a mega hit, I guess, back in the 90s and 2000s. However,
she's bigger than the Spice Girls.
Holds up though, Britney Spears. You go back and listen to Toxic.
Toxic's good. That might be the number one. We got to do a tier list.
Oh, Britney Spears songs.
List. Yeah, I think Toxic is up there.
Pin that.
Okay, pin it. Yeah. Thank you, Toxic, by the way.
Thank you to Toxic.
Platinum member. Amazing.
Who upgraded to platinum producer. Huge deal. Thank you so much for your support.
Yes.
Of course, you can join over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Exclusive content, perks. Is a great time, actually, to join up because we're kicking into Summer Game Fest, man, and we're going to have all kinds of stuff hitting that there Patreon feed with Summer Game Fest coming up. So look forward to that. Please be excited about that. We also do the Nintendo Drive post-show. If you're a fan of this show, there's an even weirder show that happens after the show that patrons get exclusive access to, where we talk about how awesome smoking is.
Shout out to Terry Fox, Canadian hero.
Shout out to Terry Fox.
Yeah, man. And Forrest Gump somehow in the same conversation.
Yeah, I don't know how these things happen. But you know what?
We got scolded by Amanda for last week's post show, by the way.
She listened to it and she was not a fan.
Not okay with the smoking. Nostalgia.
Yeah. But it's okay because the community liked it.
The community was all for it, man. Yeah, Toxic upgraded.
Toxic was like, you know what? I'm here for the smoking.
I'm here.
I better upgrade.
Winners don't do drugs. They
don't smoke, kids.
Please, God. Oh, my goodness.
Don't smoke, kids. But yes, Patreon, patreon.com/carpoolgaming is the place to be. Thank you to everybody who supports us over there, of course. And hey, right after the show tonight, Hey. Right after the show tonight, we're going to point y'all, and I'll hit this again before we wrap up, but the PlayStation Drive, most of the PlayStation Drive crew, I think Ryan, Ron, and Nagachaka are going to be, they have blinded themselves from today's Sony State of Play.
Yeah.
So they put on the blinders. They're like, we know no spoilers. And right after the show, they're going to be over on the Twitch channel live reacting to that. So hang out with them over there. We'll point you over to twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live after the show wraps up tonight. So
getting us one step closer to my dream of having a 24-hour channel.
Don't touch
where we
that
just have content just happening all the time. We'll have like a TV guide for Carpool Gaming, just youtube.com/Carpool Gaming, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, you know? Going to be the Nintendo Drive, whatever the times are. I don't even know. I just work here.
Who knows?
But that is it. Like, guys, we have talked about this. How we have so much content, we legitimately could just run it on Twitch like 24 hours. Yeah.
Oh, we very easily could. And, well, I say very easily. There are logistics involved.
Yeah, there's, yes. Please help us.
But we do have enough content to where we could literally just, you know, hey, like, this episode is in the Nintendo Drive's in syndication.
Yes. We're Big Bang Theory.
Run old episodes. Yeah.
Seinfeld, Jeopardy. It's going to be all those. Jeopardy, Seinfeld, Big Bang, Wheel of Fortune, and also Carpool Gaming content. Just the syndication, just all-star lineup. Really good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yes. That's true. Star Athena says, I'm surprised there isn't more Twitch streaming. Star Athena, fear not. We have plans, especially with Summer Game Fest coming. There's going to be much more happening on the Twitch channel. We are planning to live react to all of the major shows over there on Twitch. Mm-hmm. We're going to be recording like post shows that is going to be going up for patrons on the audio and a whole bunch of stuff happening. So stay tuned.
Also, the Oilers just have to win the Stanley Cup. They'll have to get out of the NHL playoffs, and then I've got a bunch of free time.
Then you're good.
I'm just watching hockey, you know? You know all about that, Seth.
I know all about it.
You know all about that.
I do the same thing down here in Louisiana.
I'm sure you and all the other Louisianians, is that what you're called?
Oh, we're wall-to-wall hockey fans.
Definitely. Yeah. It's all the ice that you have laying around that you enjoy so much. Yeah. Tony Baker is in the chat. Tony Baker, good friend of mine. I got to hang out with Tony last weekend, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we touched. No big deal. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is because Tony, I don't know if, I think Tony has met my wife, Chelsea, maybe once before. They got to see each other again. We got to hang out a little bit. Maybe we'll get more into that in the post show. The point is, Chelsea saw Tony for maybe the first time in like forever. So recently got to know, what he looks like. Who is this person? Who is this Tony? And so Tony works around where I live, particularly around where Lincoln goes to school. And so there was a man and a friend of his hanging around, working around Lincoln School. And Chelsea goes, "Oh, Tony's working over by Lincoln School. I'm going to go grab them. What kind of drinks do they like? Do they like iced coffee, regular coffee, whatever?" So she goes out, gets a nice drink for these hardworking men, goes up and says, "Hey, Tony, I got you a drink." And man says, "I'm not Tony. I don't know who you are, lady." So she got drinks for two totally random strangers, thinking it was Tony Baker and his friend. I think she got him a drink afterwards and fixed the mistake because he was that close by. But shout out to, shout out to Chelsea, just like
she
going
did it
out.
anyways.
She did it anyways and probably made, that pair of dues that made their day.
That is a uniquely Canadian phenomenon. That would not have happened in Louisiana, I tell you that much.
Yeah, we're all just talking about hockey and buying, Tim Hortons.
And being friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Even by
Nothing wrong
mistake.
with that.
Yeah, it was very funny. Yes. And
I
to
love
see it
that.
all happen like by text. She's kind of giving me like these updates.
Play-by-play.
What does he like to drink? And then I kind of check back later and okay, I got the drinks, I'm gonna give it to him, and then it wasn't him. Oh, what a story. What a ride. What a journey.
So did y'all do like a dinner, double date sort of thing? What was the deal there?
So my son's school had like a summer end of year carnival. They called it a carnival. It was a bunch of bouncy castles and some games outside in the field. And so we were there hanging out there, and Tony's working nearby. So I'm like, if you want to come hang out, like I'm just gonna be with the kids. So he was very sweet. We had some sweet hangs together. We drank some iced coffee from McDonald's together. Of course, he treated me, so that was very nice.
Aw.
And yeah, just had a nice hang. I think we'll have to do that again sometime.
Shout outs to Tony Baker, dude.
Tony Baker. Yeah.
One of the real ones. We love Tony Baker.
Definitely one of the real ones.
Just a real quick shout out. We don't need to get into details, but I just wanted to send a little bit of extra love to N64 Josh's.
My man. Yes.
He's again, I don't need to get into details, but he's talked about some of the stuff going on in his life, and I just want to send some love his way, man.
Love you,
here
Josh.
on the show.
Yep.
Love you, Josh. Crazy, terrible situation. I can't even imagine.
Yep.
And just wanted to send some extra love his way on the off chance that he is listening to the show.
Yeah, we love you, buddy.
So,
yeah.
Well
said, my friend. Yeah.
Shout outs to some great folks here in the community. We are very fortunate to be surrounded by the people we're surrounded by.
Shout out to those of us with 4 letters in our names. John, Seth, Tony, Josh. What's up?
Josh? Wow.
Yeah, nailed it.
The 4-letter crew.
Yeah, that's why Amanda and Lachlan aren't here. They're like, they looked at their names, they're like, too many
Too
letters.
many letters.
Too many letters. I'm out. Too bad. Sorry, guys.
I can't hang out with these fools.
It's way too many letters. Yeah.
Get on my level with the letters in my name.
Seriously. Yeah.
Star's in here.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm barely in because I got one too many vowels.
Oh yeah.
You got Seth and Josh and Tony. I mean, sometimes Y, but the E and the A.
Sometimes Y. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
What a show. Okay. Well, Sean, do you want to talk about some video games?
Nope. Hang on. I need to say something. I need to say something because I know that Lachlan is going to be screaming at us for whatever we just said about her and Amanda. I'm not even sure if it was insulting, but in any case, I want to give a shout out to the RPG Cave this week. Probably one of my favorite episodes of the RPG Cave.
Excellent.
It was spectacular. Yes. My goodness. Lachlan on fire on that show.
Oh yeah, it was peak Lachlan on that show.
Peak Lachlan. So if you're missing Lachlan, if you're listening to the Xbox Drive and you're like, oh man, I mean, these guys are okay, but I really miss Lachlan, go listen to the RPG Cave from this week. It might be your first time ever listening to that show. It's a great show. One of our more popular shows, actually. Just gaining all these new listeners, according to Ryan. I don't know the numbers, but he said it on the show.
Just
so it has
pumping
to
the
be
numbers
true.
there.
Yeah, he's just like, there's so many new listeners. It's like him and his mom and Garrett.
So many new listeners. We're ramping up every week.
Yeah, we got the people who came on the show listening, so that's good. I just wanted to show. I took a couple screenshots. I want to cut some shorts and clips out of that episode because it was so good. Yeah. So shout out to you guys. Very good. Yeah.
Big shout outs to
good job
to the RPG crew.
Nicely job.
Nicely job over there. It was really good. And I'll say too, just really quickly, you might have noticed, Sean, I was on my phone just now.
Yeah,
I was ordering pizza. I was ordering a pizza.
I'm okay with this. Okay, yeah.
My wife will be home in like 30 minutes. So y'all are just gonna, at that point, you will hear my dog barking. I just want everybody to know that. I want to get out ahead of it.
It's for pizza.
Ordering a pizza so that she can pick it up. She's coming home from work. She's going to pick it up, eat pizza, and then after the show and the post show tonight, I will have pizza. So
sounds good.
I apologize for being on my phone, but the pizza had to be ordered.
Where did you order it from?
Domino's.
Domino's, yeah. Who's putting it in the oven? You got the Domino's pizza tracker in there?
Let's find out.
You gotta. This was a stream. Didn't we do this like on stream one time where
Zelda,
I ordered
Zelda Day?
That's right. That's right. Tears of the Kingdom. Top
Jasmine.
Jasmine has put your pizza in the oven.
But it's spelled Jazmyn. Jasmine.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
So
hey, she probably knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
When you spell it like that, you're just excellent at pizza making.
Talk about too many letters. Yeah.
That it already had too many letters. She had to shorten it. She's like, this is far too many. In Z. Just throw a Z in there.
She had to make it be a little quirky about it, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully Raja is helping her out over there. Her pet tiger, Raja.
The Sultan is over there.
Her dad, the Sultan, yes.
Does he have a name, the Sultan, in Aladdin?
Maybe. I feel like no. My bet is on no. I'm going to say no.
It's just the Sultan.
The Sultan.
Yeah.
He's got a big bushy beard, just sort of like no real hair strands in that beard. It's just sort of like a marshmallow that hangs off his chin.
Just kind of a... really a foam, you would call it, like a marshmallow fluff.
Is this show?
I will say, man, speaking of foam,
ow,
one of the great segues I've ever made in my life. Speaking of foam, I have a latte that I made myself before the show.
Very nice.
With milk foam.
Yep.
I make a hell out of a latte, dude.
Okay.
Like, I'm not the type to like toot my own horn too much, but man, forget going to a coffee shop. Like, forget it.
I will. I forgot about it.
I can make a great latte. I'm drinking this. I'm like, this is a damn fine cup of coffee.
I'll tell you what, that's what life's all about, dude. You know, you got a nice cup of coffee. You're like, this is nice. Like, look at this. Is very good. I think we'll do the post show now.
It's pretty much what it is.
I think this is it. I think this is the post show. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, we could talk about video games. It's up to you.
Are we still housekeeping? Is that
I think we're out of housekeeping.
Are we done? Okay, we're done housekeeping.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to the RPG Cave. Yes.
Shout outs.
Oh, good stuff.
Okay,
we can talk about video games. I played games this week.
Go for it. Tell me about them.
Well, I mean, one game, really.
Yeah.
The Legend of Zelda, Paullin. A Link Between Worlds.
Let's go.
On my blue 3DS XL. Seth, I don't know. Do you want to do this first, or do you want to do Thousand Year Door? Do you want to do Paper Mario?
No, let's do Zelda first. We'll pin Paper Mario. Yeah.
We can pin it. Yeah, that's of course. Why wouldn't we pin the thumbnail topic?
Pin it.
Okay. I'm about halfway through this game already.
Holy
Seth,
crap.
I cannot put it down. You know what I was very scared because I played this, I think only just once, maybe twice before, but it's been many, many years, maybe even 2 children ago.
Yeah.
Probably because it's before the Switch anyway. And in my mind and on the show, I've often talked about how it's like my favorite Zelda game. I love this game, but you know how memory can be fishy. Like
can betray you?
Yeah, I think so. So I was a little bit worried that I was going to jump back into this game. And this is all Ryan Turford's fault, by the way. I'm pretty sure he was the one who came into this chat here a week ago tonight saying, hey, I'm going to play this game. We're like, let's do it. I was looking for a game.
What really happened is we were getting ourselves all hyped up last week on the 3DS.
Totally.
and then Ryan's like, hey, actually, I'm playing Link Between... Guess what? We're all playing Link Between Worlds.
Get on in here. We're playing 3DS. Yes.
Saddle in.
So that's the background. I was scared I was going to not like it like I used to. And Seth, I feel like it's almost better than I remember.
Even better.
I feel like it might be better than I remember. It is so smooth, and the world is, I mean, the map is obviously perfectly designed. It's a near carbon copy of A Link to the Past. But man, I don't even know where to begin because I'm just enjoying my time so much with it. I don't want it to end. I love the art style. I love the music. I love the weapons rental system. I love all the dungeons I'm going through, the variety of it all. Some of it's silly. Some of it's a little bit more serious. I love the art style of the paintings that happen.
Me too. Yeah.
I don't know that I love the main enemy, the Yoompa Woompa Yuga dude. Yeah. Like, I'm not sure, but whatever. I'm not really ever a fan of, non-Ganon enemies and big bads. But whatever, that doesn't matter. This game plays so well. I'm getting the old claw hands back.
Same. Mm-hmm.
It's hurting in the weird places along my thumb bones. That's a little bit strange.
Do you find yourself wishing, like me, I kind of wish I could control Link with the D-pad.
Yes.
And not the circle pad.
I kind of wish I had some sort of, like, they used to sell these. I don't know if they still do, like the little grips, like the thumbstick grips from GameStop. I used to give them like for free for like, pre-orders and whatever. And I'm like, what do you need these for?
Big chunky.
I need it on the 3DS. Yeah. It's just that's more of a 3DS kind of thing. But yeah, how are you? You're not halfway through. I'm getting.
No, I'm not halfway through. I've done 2 dungeons. I did that first, the Eastern Palace or whatever. Yep. And then the second dungeon, because after that point, the game's just kind of like, hey, go.
Totally,
which I love. I love that about the game. And I did the one with the tornado rod, the like Tower of
bottom
Gales
right
or whatever.
Bottom right of the map.
It's awesome. I just the thing that I think impresses me the most about the game all this time later, you mentioned it earlier, it's how smooth it is.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It just runs like butter. It is. I'm not like a frame rate guy, but I'll be damned, man. Like, that thing is just so, it just feels great to play.
Yep. Design of Link is wonderful. I love the look of him. I also play, now we're chatting about 3DS last week. I play with the 3D just turned on. Not max, not middle, like you just kind of like pop it. You're max 3D. You're all
the way.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going like cross-eyed over here.
I was going to say, your brain is just like melting into the screen. Like, you are one with the 3D.
All the way up, baby.
Good for you, man. Yeah, so we're enjoying a little bit of 3D. It kind of does that. I love the top-down perspective and some of the kind of like the floors that you can kind of fall down to or launch up to. You're probably not there just yet. There's
second dungeon did a lot of that, where you're flying up towards the screen.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep.
That's the one where the boss is like that, like multi-tiered tower with the eyeball on it. Mm-hmm. It's so cool. Like, that's such a cool boss. I'm like,
there are some great bosses in this game as well. I feel like that's not even the best one so far, at least
it's
where
not.
I'm at. But yeah, very, very, very cool bosses. I was thinking about it as well, because obviously we've talked about how I want it to come to the Switch, but there is something, I'm trying to put my finger on it. There's something quite handheld about the experience in that you can accomplish quite a lot if you only have like an hour to play or 45 minutes. Like, you're not going into a dungeon going like, do I have 3 hours on my hands here? And I feel like that is very much a 3DS. It's a handheld game experience that you can just kind of, I'm just crushing this game. It's not a very long game.
You can cruise right through it.
You can. And dude, you know what's funny? I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but like, you go to low rule,
Yeah.
I forgot about it. I'm like, I've seen this whole map. And then they're like, actually, you're getting sent down here. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happens here. That explains a lot. But there's a weird like sea creature kind of mama who's lost all of her babies. Oh, yeah, do you remember this? Octopus, I forgot all about this. And her little babies are crying out. They're stuck to walls. And you got to turn into the painting, crawl along, and then pop out, and they fall off, and you pick them up. And dude, what do you even call that? The painting mechanic, like the fact that you walk up to a wall. It's excellent. It's so great. How is this not a thing in any other 1,000 indie games that have come out? Yeah. It's a great mechanic.
You could have designed an entire indie game just around that mechanic.
Yeah.
The way that like they've structured it to where you go into a wall, you'll find like a little crack that you can like slide through, and then like pop out, go to a lower level, go on the wall, and then like go backwards around to the other side. Like they've thought about everything. Just when you think like, oh, they don't intend for me to go that way, yeah, they do. And there's probably a chest over there.
Totally. Yeah, you get your spidey senses kind of go off a little bit, and you're like, oh, there's something over here, and then there is, and you're like, I'm so smart. That feels great. And even as I say, this should be a mechanic that is copied. What it actually really speaks to is how expertly designed this whole entire world is. Every inch of this map that they do twice, every building, every hill, everything has been considered. Like, you can go here, you can't go there. Some of these places are going to serve for a purpose. It feels like this is where my brain maxes out, where everybody else with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they're like, oh, I could do anything in this world, and physics this, and you touch these two, all this stuff. It's way too complicated for me. This game, I get it. It's top down, and there's a big boulder in the way, and I'm like, I'm not getting stopped by that boulder. I'm going to go, slide into this wall and sneak past this thing. That to me is like, I can do anything with the mechanics of this game.
The world is your oyster.
It totally feels that way. And it's such a stupid thing because I'm not smart enough for Tears of the Kingdom, but this game makes me feel very smart. And I think that's a lot of what I'm enjoying about it, Seth.
There's a little puzzle solving energy to it, for sure.
A little bit.
There's just something about, as much as I love 3D Zelda. I feel the same way about 3D Mario. I love 3D Zelda. I love 3D Mario. My favorite, kind of entries, I do typically tend to favor 3D Zeldas, but there is just something about that classic top-down, it's so cozy. Like it's so nostalgic.
Yep.
There's something about just running around, swinging your sword, I just love it. And the way the game kind of plays with your familiarity, if you are somebody who played A Link to the Past, this is like a sequel to A Link to the Past, straight up. In Japan, it's called A Link to the Past 2.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. And it kind of like, it plays with that familiarity, and it kind of restructures the world to where if you're somebody who's played a ton of A Link to the Past, then you know your way around. You kind of know your touchstones, but it's changed just enough. And then you go to low rule and it's like changed totally, and it's just small enough because it's, it's lifting essentially the map design from the Super Nintendo game. That means that it's like very snappy to get around the world.
Yes.
Like, even though you have fast travel and stuff available to you, like just your movement through the world just feels so snappy and smooth. Mm-hmm. It is a masterpiece. It is fantastic.
It really is. I'm so glad we were playing this thanks to Ryan Turford, of all things. I'm so glad we got to...
I don't even know if Ryan started it.
Yeah, he was playing like Metroid Other M, I think.
M.
He's on Wii. Yeah. Like, okay. This is the game you want to be playing, man. This is it. It's so great. Maybe there's a spoiler. I don't know if you need to do some sort of spoiler cast about it, but it's a game people should be playing. It's gotta come over to the Switch, and I think I'm gonna continue to play it. But it's one of the. I think it's gonna be over before I know it, Seth. And then it'll be like, then what do I do?
And then you're lost. Then it's like you gotta do hero mode, I guess. I did think about starting up a hero mode playthrough, but I'm not familiar enough with the game anymore. It's not permadeath, I don't think, but
it's just super hard.
Yeah, you take increased damage, and the enemies are like, leveled up essentially and stuff. And I think I would have to. I mean, it's impossible to know, I guess.
There's no way to find out.
We can.
I do love the enemies in this.
I do too.
I love the enemies. I've already got the Master Sword. It doesn't take too long to get the Master Sword.
No, I think you get the Master Sword just after doing because you do that first dungeon and you save what's his face, Shahar Shala or whatever his name is.
That's exactly how you say it. Yeah.
And that's then he's like, do these 3 dungeons and then get the Master Sword, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. It's simply a harder difficulty setting where enemies do 4 times the damage, are slightly quicker and more intelligent. So that's essentially what it is.
But you get to say that you did hero mode.
Yeah. You get to be cool.
That is
I
cool.
guess there's a couple little special cutscenes apparently. Like hero mode has its own special ending as well. So
I do love Zelda in this game. That's a big part of my enjoyment of Zelda games. Is like, do I like the Zelda that we've got here?
Yeah.
Very, very cute. Yeah, I like it very much. Yeah, man, I don't know. Everybody should be playing it. I wish Lachlan were here because I know she's playing it as well.
She's playing it too. I wish she was here too. You know what? Something that I don't feel like gets talked about enough with this game is the soundtrack. It is incredible. Like,
thank you. Yes.
For it being a 3DS game, like, it has got some of my favorite versions of these classic themes, like Kakariko Village. This is probably my favorite version of the Kakariko Village theme.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
Whew, it's so damn good. The overworld theme, the like main menu theme, that classic Zelda theme, it is in grand form here. I just it's the game, it's S tier. Like, it is an S tier Zelda game.
What
really
sits beside it? A Link to the Past.
Well,
I mean, you love Majora's Mask and maybe not so much Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I mean, I love Ocarina of Time. I love all this. Is my favorite video game series. I love them all. But the thing is like, and I've said this for a long time. I've caught flack for this opinion for years. But I think A Link Between Worlds is like a straight improvement over A Link to the Past. Straight up. Like, a lot of people can kind of take or leave the item system, and maybe it's not as pure, in quotes, an experience as A Link to the Past.
What does that even mean? I know people have said that, and it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think it's because, like, they feel like if a game has some kind of gimmick, like the painting thing, then somehow that cheapens the experience or something. I completely disagree.
I completely, it totally enriches it. What are you talking about? Because it forces the camera into, like, not only does it make you play the game differently, which I think is interesting, but it forces the camera into a perspective that you would never be able to see that world in. Like, it comes right down, ground level, you know, staring straight at what you're looking at. And it totally works from that perspective. And then the dungeons, the trying to get from one place to another. I was at a thieves hangout. Do you remember that part? You go down, you gotta lead. I think it's a girl. You gotta get her out of there.
You have to escort her. Yeah.
But you're able to do all this weird stuff with the walls, and she's like, I guess that seems fine. I'll just wait here for you to go knock down a ladder or whatever so I can cross this chasm and stuff. But it's just, I never enjoy, what are those, escort missions. I never enjoy that. This was great. This was super fun to play.
And isn't that the dungeon that has the boss with the shield that you have to, like, put yourself onto?
Yes, that was what I was.
Cool
thank you for saying that, because I don't know. I don't know why I'm dancing around spoilers, but that's what I was alluding to earlier. That, like, the wedding cake boss with the eyeball on top is great, but not even the best one. The one you got to put yourself onto the shield.
So damn cool.
So great, because there's very small parts within that dungeon where you can see shapes that are like that shield, and you do that as well to get, if there's a heart kind of sitting in there or whatever. So you've done it once or twice before, and then it shows up in the boss, and that's why I felt really smart. I think I know what they need me to do. And you do it, you disappear, he's looking around for you.
He's looking for you. Oh, it's
yes,
the best.
you pop off and you get to smack him in the butthole. It's just it's with your sword.
let's clarify, with your sword.
Yes.
As you do.
The glowing red danger spot. Yeah, that's what you want to do. Yeah, what a great boss. You have such a good memory, because you haven't got there in this playthrough.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it's been years since I played the game.
That's incredible. Yeah, no, it's been years for me too, but a lot of it's new for me. You know my brain. I'm like, I don't remember this at all. Like, low rule, what the hell is this?
Hilda? Like, what? Who's that?
It's like, I remembered the beginning, and that basically is it. I'm like, I mean, the Zoras already? What the hell? I'm swimming around and stuff. I'm diving in here. I'm having a great time. People make fun of me, and as do I, about my memory and my brain just in general. You guys, you can just, like, forget about amazing games. Totally. It's like, I'm playing this game for the first time.
You're Men in Blacking yourself, you know? Like, it's classic.
I forgot to put on the glasses. Damn it.
Everybody wishes they could have that. Like, how many times I wish I could experience that for the first time again. Yeah, man.
Like, as I'm playing it, it's like, oh yeah, but I'm not anticipating it, if that makes any sense. You know, like, once you see it, you're like, oh yeah, definitely.
You're still allowing yourself to be surprised.
But yeah, I don't know what's next. I don't know what the hell is going to happen here. Yeah, it's been great. I've really been enjoying it. Yeah.
And isn't there something, just the way this game's art style reminds me of old Zelda games? Like little things, like the way that like Link's kind of poofy hair.
Yes.
The way that Zelda and Hilda are designed, like the way the Zoras are designed. They don't look like sleek and slender and cool like they do in the other games, you know.
What do they say for the queen? She's got oh man, she's like bulbous or something. They have a word for her, like she's all big. It's just so cute. And I in 3D Zelda, like I don't always love the sort of like cartoony kind of weird enemy design, character design. Like they definitely have like a, I don't know what, a je ne sais quoi kind of thing to them. In this, I dig it. I don't know what it is. The 2D, it's meant to be more of a cartoon. It's not meant to be realistic at all. But I've always kind of felt that with 3D Zelda games. So like the weirdness, the strange faces, the colored noses, that kind of stuff always kind of weirds me out a little bit.
Yeah, I love the little side characters. I love, you know, because the sense of scale is so much smaller and more intimate, you really get to know Irene the Witch and, you know, these little like side characters. And I don't know, there's just something cozy about it. There's just something...
And there's great fast travel right out of the gates.
It's great. Yeah.
It's
right away.
Really good. Yeah, you don't got to mess around, and it's not a huge map, but it definitely makes it. That's why I'm still with it. That's why I'm just like totally rolling through this, because I'm not really hitting a whole lot of friction with it. You know, like there's some parts that are fairly optional. You can kind of see something like, do I really want to spend 15 minutes to go get that chest or whatever? Or I can just go to whatever's next on the map, you know? There are a couple times in between kind of the more main sections of it, the more main quest points where you go, I'm not really sure where to go. And it's a micro example of what is basically the entire game from my perspective of Tears of the Kingdom. They're like, whatever you want, like go wherever you want. And this is a hallmark for Zelda. It does a lot of hand-holding, I would say, which for me, I'm great with. They'll mark an X on your map and go over here and beat this dungeon and go over here and get this pendant or whatever. I'm great with that. But there are, every once in a while, it'll not do that. And so it feels a little bit out of place within this game, where they kind of open things up and you can go talk to Ravio, and that's the next. Yeah, that's the, not ravioli. I kind of fluked out a couple times where I just ended up having to walk into the right building or house to kind of progress things a little bit. So that's one thing I don't know how I feel about that. It's just something that I noticed playing through was it goes from go over here specifically to there's almost no way to know what's going to progress things forward. Yeah,
well, and I would say too, for people who haven't played the game or maybe are not as familiar with the game, the two kind of big points of difference with this game are the 2D kind of go into the wall painting gimmick that we've talked about, but also the fact that rather than your traditional, there is some kind of like traditional go into your dungeon, find your items sort of thing. There's a little bit of that, but for the most part, you just rent any, like all the key items of the game you basically have access to right away.
Yeah.
And you just rent them and you can go tackle the dungeons in any order you want with any of the items that you want to, by the way. So like what that means is that they have effectively designed these dungeons around every play style, which to me is so impressive that they have managed to make it feel like they're kind of like tuning it to the way you're playing, despite the fact that they objectively are not, you know? So.
I feel like this is, we've kind of established already, this isn't a very big or long game. And that's why I'm liking that, because they don't have to pour, this diluted effort across these billions of miles of map or anything. It's this nice contained space that the game exists within. And so every ounce of it is just purely designed, so saturated with attention. I love, and of course it's Nintendo, so that's going to happen even at the scale of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. But here we are with a smaller game on 3DS, and like you can play it however you want to in all these different directions and play styles, and it just works,
And like not only that, I mean, I would argue that this is what kind of set us up for Breath of the Wild, like
maybe, yeah.
The notion in Breath of the Wild right away, you're getting the Sheikah Slate, which is all of your powers that you're ever going to have.
I see what you mean. Yes. Yeah,
Like it kind of sets us up for that. And this game also doesn't like concern itself with getting bogged down with, hey, better buy a bunch of arrows, you know, or whatever.
Totally.
Like it's all
That's
just
the
tied
thing.
to
There's
like
no friction. I'm just playing it.
Yep.
If I die, then he comes and takes his stuff away. But there's also an option that unlocks later where you just buy.
You can just
some
buy
of the items. Yeah, which is great. And bombs are the first things that I buy and rent. So I just, no matter where I'm going, I always have bombs on me.
It's
just
awesome,
in the game.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In real life, you always
just
have
want to
bombs
clarify.
on.
Yeah. Just no, I do not.
Whoever's listening. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
Man, what a game. So glad to be holding my 3DS as well. I haven't even been, I don't know what I was expecting, but I haven't been tempted at all to go like play something else. That's how this game has just completely gripped me. And here I am. Last week I was raving about Hellblade 2 over on Xbox Land. This week I'm on my 3DS loving one of the best games. Just it's the way it is, man. It's one of the best games that's ever been made. We're so lucky that it exists and we get to play it. And that's just gaming in 2024 for me right now. It's been so fun to just go play games that are great and awesome.
It's an incredible game. And what I hope people listening, if you've never played it, and I understand it's on 3DS, so it's kind of trapped on 3DS, it needs to come to Switch.
Yeah.
Like this game must not be trapped on 3DS. Like it has to come.
I thought we were going to have, I can't remember if it was a 3DS or what. We were talking about some sort of like community driven, can we like share things or pass them along? You know what I mean? Like, can there be a 3DS? Like, what was that?
Sisterhood of the Traveling Game.
Yeah. What the heck was that?
It was with
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
People are going to, oh, that's right. Yeah. People could like leave notes for each other and stuff. But like, yeah, we got to get, if you don't have a 3, we could get a 3DS to you. You know what I mean? Like that would be super fun to do. That'd be really fun. Yeah. But you got to play it. Yeah. Or, you know, do crimes and mod your Wii U or whatever. You know,
I mean, do what you got to do, man.
People who don't have a 3DS definitely have a Wii U, I think is how that works.
Oh, I'm sure everybody out there listening has a Wii U. I just do what you have to do. The game's amazing. It is if you are a Zelda fan, especially if you like the old school, it is, you know, a must play. It really is.
Man, if there are people out there who just don't really play 2D Zeldas, like, because there are definitely people out there like that, man,
this would be the
what
one.
a place to start. Holy crap. Can you imagine? I'd just like to, you know, dip my toe into the world of Zelda. Why don't I start with A Link Between Worlds? Are you kidding me? I feel like there's no way to overstate how good this game is. Like,
it's a 10.
It's really good.
It's a 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Yeah. So I will continue to play that. I hope to have it finished by next week. Yeah, man. I wish I could stream it. I wish I had the ability to capture footage on this. It'd be wonderful to share, but the 3DS is not really possible, unfortunately.
Just aim your phone or like your camera like down at the screen and stream that way.
I know. I just want to share it with people. It's so, dude, and like we haven't even talked about there are 2 screens on the 3DS. I know. It's how nice so is that? Great. You got your map always open, and you can pin whatever. I got blue for places I need to bomb places. I got yellow pins for treasures and things I need to go back for every time I find a fairy. Pin it with a yellow pin. You know, oh man, it's got that second screen experience always. That's why I didn't think to open my map in Tears of the Kingdom. I was just wanted a second screen.
It's always open.
It's always there. Man, we've so quickly forgotten how great that second screen experience is.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because like I want them desperately to bring this to Switch. We will be missing that if they do that. Like, I know. You will have to like press a button to bring the map up, right? And there is something to that. There is something nice about just having it all right there.
Just right there. You know? Yep. Find out all those little sea creatures you need to go find. It tells you how many there are in each area. It's very good.
And it also, like, the thing that the game does so well too, it's got that Metroidvania thing where you get certain power-ups and you can see like, I bet later I can access this. And they're also like when you get the Pegasus boots for the first time in this game.
I haven't got them yet, but yeah.
You like, I just remember like that feeling like, oh man, like now I'm in
anywhere.
I can run, I can do whatever I want, you know?
Yep.
And to have that feeling in this teeny tiny little, you know, 2D Zelda game is just, it's incredible, man. Yeah. It's a 10.
I love it. Yep. Very good. This is good.
I love it. Okay.
Well, how about that?
Anything else?
Oh, just that I like dragging items on that second screen as well.
It
Like
feels
everything
good,
is,
right?
yeah, it's just kind of like you got them in your little menu and you drag them over to, okay, I'm going to use my bombs now. And it just feels, Lincoln yelled at me though at one point. I don't know if he's going to walk in here at one point because I was showing him the game. I was really excited about it. And I'd asked him if he'd played it before. Lincoln's my 7-year-old son for those who are new. And I asked him if he played it and he's like, yeah, I played this before, but what did he say? He said something like, it didn't really stick with me or something. Like it didn't really he said like yeah. And I'm like, who are you? Like what?
Like what YouTuber did you watch that said that?
Exactly. So I'm like, oh, Lincoln, I think you'd really like it. Like, when was the last time you played? Like a couple of years ago? And I was like, yeah, I think it's been a couple of years. I'm like, who am I having this conversation with? Like my little guy is like this grown boy talking about this thing.
It didn't speak to me, Dad.
Yes, it was something very similar. It didn't speak to me, just like it didn't resonate with me. Exactly. Yeah. So he's playing Chibi Robot instead, or Chibi Robo.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Was it Whiplash? Something Lash?
Ziplash.
Yeah, he's playing that instead of A Link Between Worlds, but that's fine. We'll correct that later. But in any case, he was telling me how it didn't resonate with him or speak to his soul or whatever. And then he kind of looks back over.
With it.
I'm pinning something. I'm touching the second screen, but I'm always using my finger to do it. I'm not pulling out the stylus. And Lincoln he's playing his 2DS at the same time. He just drops it to his lap and goes, Dad, just use the stylus. Who is this kid, man? Oh,
it's annoying though. You got to pull the stylus out.
I
and
know.
Put it back. Who wants to do that?
He's very particular in how things get done. So I'm sorry, Lincoln. Sorry, buddy.
Because like on the XL, the stylus is at the bottom. I do miss the original model when the stylus was on the side.
Oh yeah, mine's on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, you could just easily kind of pull it out. It's a little bit more annoying. Yeah, like that to me is way better than having it on the bottom.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, Lincoln is named Lincoln because of Link. Like we shorthanded
Son,
to
this
Link.
is your heritage.
Yeah, like play it, Lincoln. What are you doing? He's up there reading or some shit? Like, come on, man.
Reading? Come on now.
I know.
This is how we learned to read in the 90s. Come on.
I know. And that and Goosebumps.
Oh, hell yeah.
Shout out to Goosebumps. Yeah.
BobLoblaw
in the chat. Going to charge my 3DS now. Yes.
Let's go, BobLoblaw.
Join us.
Yes.
Oh,
Join
we are.
us.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Good stuff. I love it.
I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
wait
here
to
for
hear
it.
more
All in
people
Eric
playing it.
said it earlier. I never got to play Ever Oasis on 3DS. That was the last game I ever bought. Was Ever Oasis.
It was late.
It was just after I think I picked that up just around Hey Pikmin. Those are the two games that I would have purchased and didn't get to play a whole lot. I played a little bit of both, like maybe like 90 minutes, maybe of both.
Well, look, man, like Luigi's Mansion 2 HD comes out in less than a month. That's a 3DS game.
I'll just play the 3DS one.
Oh, well, me too. I'm not picking it up personally, but
me neither.
Like but I mean, for me, I'm like the door's open. Now that we have that, it's like bring over all of this stuff.
Dude, I would lose my mind. Nintendo Direct. Yeah. Miyamoto comes out and says, this is Miyamoto. Or Aonuma comes out and says, this is Aonuma. And just gives it to us. Oh my gosh. And what if it was like, it's so stupid. I'm thinking of, remember the 64 DD, like the add-on for the 64, just like ka-chunked onto the top, or I guess it kind of technically went underneath. That's what I want for the Switch. Into the USB-C slot in the bottom, you could chunk a second screen on there.
Which is just a whole 3DS.
It's another. Does he have three screens? I just want a second screen. I just want like a PlayStation Portal kind of thing, just like that ka-chunks to the bottom of it.
Yeah, Eric shouts out Pushmo in the chat. Yeah, Pushmo. I mean, there's so many games that we talked about the 3DS extensively last week on the show, but I mean, the games that are stuck there now, it's criminal. That library was incredible, dude.
War crimes, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Crimes against humanity. Yeah, we need to fix this. Well, we'll start a Carpool Gaming. What is it called? The petition. We need a petition. Change this.
Yeah, change.org.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
BobLoblaw in the chat says, who doesn't love a good ka-chunk? Yeah, you just
I love a good ka-chunk.
chunk in there. Definitely.
Yeah, that should be the new catchphrase for that device. Chunk in. You know, ka-chunk
no. You know the feeling I'm talking about when something just like perfectly. Yeah, it's like that. That's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love
Locked
it.
and loaded.
Brian X says, I can't wait to play A Link Between Worlds. Still have my game sealed, but ready to be played. Let's go. Everybody, just boot that thing up. Talk about it in the Discord. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. What a game.
You know what might be next, actually, as much as I need to get to at least one Switch game sometime this year, is I was looking through my old library of 3DS games, and something I forgot that I picked up quite recently, still in the wrapper, is Metroid Samus Returns.
Oh,
I never played it. I never played. That was Mercury Steam.
Mercury Steam, yeah.
Mercury, yeah. Metroid Dread. Yes, yeah. I never played that game though. So
it's really good. Yeah,
I hear it. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that next.
Did you play Dread?
I played Dread. I love Dread.
You'll love Returns then. It's very much Dread is very much a sequel to Samus Returns, like that parry and everything.
Love it. Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. I'll just see how my hands, like my hands. You don't have to be super like agile, and you don't have to have a 10 on dexterity, you know, to play Zelda on 3DS. But I feel like Metroid may be a little different. Need to be. Can I play with
maybe
the D-pad?
A little. Yeah, maybe a little. I mean, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've played that game too, but yeah, it's great. You'll
BobLoblaw in the chat says, I still need to play A Link Between Worlds as well. You guys,
let's get on
now is the time. This is our moment. We're in it.
No time like the present. Mm-hmm. Right before whatever they're going to announce at the June Direct, everybody just bust out the 3DS and play this.
Is that a real thing? Game. Are we just guessing Nintendo Direct?
No, they've said. They've said. They said with that like tweet where they said like we're gonna announce the Switch 2 by the end of the next fiscal year. They also said in that same tweet we'll be talking on a June Nintendo Direct about games coming this year. So
yeah, you're right.
It's a thing. Yeah.
Well, I gotta use up my next voucher. I've got one voucher. It's damn near expired. So I gotta buy something from Nintendo.
No, I'm sure they'll give us something. We're probably going to be doing. I think the plan is next week we'll be doing our predictions episode. So
yes,
we'll chat about that next week. Cool, man. Well, I'll talk about a couple of little things here, and then we'll get into some questions and chat about some Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door. The only other game that I wanted to quickly shout out is Duck Detective: The Secret Salami.
Oh, tell me about it. Yes,
it's great. It's short. You're gonna get through the thing in like 2 to 3 hours max. But it is just so much fun. It is this kind of like, I mean, really the art style is kind of like Paper Mario, where you're this like 2D duck kind of waddling around this like bus office interrogating people that are also in 2D. But it's so like the writing of it, the performances, it's fully voice acted, and the performances are so much fun. And I just had a blast with it. It's great. The gameplay of it is essentially you're walking through. You've been hired to solve this case of somebody's stolen lunch, and you kind of uncover like a deeper conspiracy throughout the course of the game. The game goes a little bit deeper than you kind of think it will. You meet all of these fun characters. Again, the whole thing fully voiced. And as you interrogate and investigate the area, you pick up kind of clue words that you use for deduction. There's plenty of duck puns in the game, Sean.
Hey, Wes.
It's great.
Sign me up.
And like the writing is so much fun because he's like a recently divorced hard-boiled duck detective who has a he has a like a crippling bread addiction. You know,
holy crap, Seth.
So like you would see like in a typical like detective noir story, you would see like their office has like, you know, cup noodle everywhere, Chinese takeout or whatever. For him, it's like loaves of white bread.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's so good. Oh yeah, this is my video. Yeah, this is it's just so like there's a lot of like attention to detail with it. It runs great on Switch, and it's just fun, man. It's not going to take you that long to beat. It's like I said, 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, sign me up.
Yeah, for me that's a plus. Like I loved that I could kind of play through this in just like a couple of sittings. You have to take like you're investigating. You got your magnifying glass. You're looking for little details on these people.
Oh, look at his pants! Kind of, they got like little buttons on there. You look under through the lens of the magnifying glass. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of looking for any little detail to find
brown eyes,
new things. So there you go.
Angry
like,
brow.
angry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really really good, man.
Cute little game. Nice.
I love it. It's cheap too. I think it's under $10. So I mean, it's a win in my book. They could put out one of these things every year, and I'd play it. You know, keep it going. More Duck Detective.
Nice.
So yeah, just wanted to shout it out. It's real good.
Thank you for mentioning it because I'm gonna play that.
Give it a
we
mensch.
have a code from Xbox, so.
Oh hell yeah! There you go.
I think maybe it's on Game Pass, but it's an indie game.
I don't know.
We got a code over there, so yeah, looks good.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, but we do have a couple of questions, Sean, real quick before we get into some Paper Mario.
Oh yeah, we cannot talk about Paper Mario yet.
We have to pin it further. We have to, put that God
Probably
forbid.
pin it till next week, actually, when Amanda comes back. Thumbnail will be damned.
Yeah, we could. I mean, the next week's going to be tough though, because we're also doing predictions, so it's already a stuffed episode. But in any case, we do have some questions, so let's get into these real quick. From Quaggy. Quaggy says, I packed 10 games for my trip to Chicago. I hope you had a good time in Chicago, Quaggy. Quaggy, by the way, reached out to me before his trip, like a month or two or so, and he goes, hey, I'm going to Chicago. I know you're from there. Do you have any recommendations of like places I should eat, things I should see? And he didn't know what he was getting into, and he asked me that. I sent him back like 2 novels.
Love it.
Of
course.
Things, so.
He knew.
Yeah, so, I hope so. He got more than he bargained for, but hopefully he had a great time. I can't wait to hear about it, Quaggy.
That's like, here's my birthplace. Here's my
go
childhood
to
home.
Lincoln Park Hospital where I was born. Yeah,
Lincoln Park, nice.
Quaggy continues, didn't play any of them. Instead, I played one NSO game anytime I had downtime. What is the best NSO game, and why is it F-Zero?
F-Zero 99, my man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tetris 99 is right up there. Well, for me, probably it is Tetris 99, but I do love me some F-Zero 99 as well. Yeah.
It's pretty damn good, man.
It is pretty dang good. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I will pick up and play, when it comes to NSO, the original WarioWare. I will play that anytime, like any day of the week. I can pick that up and play it. It still holds up. So. Well,
one of my favorite Game Boy games is Super Mario Land 2: The 6 Golden Coins, but I want to shout out, they just put this on NSO, the original Super Mario Land. And very strange to go back to, they hadn't quite figured out how large or small to make the sprites.
It's like a weird game.
Everything's very small, but I love the, not a fireball, but you're throwing around like a rubber ball almost. It just bounces around everywhere. I always thought it was just a weird acting fireball as a kid. I thought that was a fire flower, and it's a totally different thing. But I really want to just shout out the music for that game.
That's so good.
It is so good. It's worth playing the weird game for the great music, actually.
Yeah.
So shout out to that on NSO.
Tatanga, final boss of that game.
Tatanga, there it is. Yeah, nailed it. I haven't beaten it. I've never seen Tatanga, actually.
Well, the game is also really short. So, I mean, you could play through that game really easily in like 45 minutes.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
It's only 12 stages, so I mean, you get through it quick. It's great. Like as weird as it is, if we're speaking objectively, it probably is one of the lower tier Mario games, but it's still really good and fun, and I'm glad it's finally on NSO. So yeah.
Shout out NSO. Nice.
Okay. HVAC Sparky had a question. This is a bit of a weird one, and I don't have anything queued up for it, but I wanted to read it mostly because HVAC Sparky provided examples. They say, I think it would be cool if we could all give our ideas for the names of potential Nintendo games. Include your ideas for a Zelda game, a Mario game, and a wild card franchise of the person's choice. For each, give your idea for a good title and a bad title. I will start with my ideas. The good, The Legend of Zelda Fragments in Time, Super Mario Bros. Luigi's Quest, Donkey Kong Country Technical Difficulties. And then the bad is The Legend of Zelda A Leak Between Worlds, Super Mario Brothers Stomp on Goombas, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Deluxe.
HVAC Sparky, I want you to take this in the spirit that it's intended. I want to reverse your good and bad. I think those bad are great. Yeah. Stomp on Goombas is a Super Mario game I want to play. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Deluxe, I'm here for it. I am absolutely here for it. Yeah, Deluxe squared. Yes, please.
I kind of wish that they would be that literal. Like,
yeah.
Super Mario Brothers, the game where the plumber stomps on Goombas.
Oh my God, that'd be so great. Well, I mean, he used to be Jumpman.
That's true. He was a man that jumped.
He was a man who was jumping all over the place. Like, that's all he's running and jumping. Like, that was it.
Before Tears of the Kingdom came out, I had a sort of, I might have even said it on this show, I don't remember, but I had a speculation. My speculated title for it was The Hand of Hyrule.
Oh, that's good.
Because of the whole hand motif. Mm-hmm.
That's
and
nice.
They had said something to the effect of like, well, we can't reveal the title ahead of time because it would be spoilers. And then it ended up being Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, well, it's not really spoilers, but
I don't know the context. Yeah, that was so weird. Yeah. I don't know which category this goes in, Seth, but what do you think of F-Zero Fast Cars Go Fast?
Oh, hell yeah. That's in the good category.
Okay, good. Nice. That's what I was hoping you'd say.
Yeah. F-Zero Fast Cars Go Fast.
Fast Cars Go Fast.
We would just take any new F-Zero at this point. Call it what you want.
I want to play a game called Donkey Kong Country Cranky Kong's Revenge. I would like to play that one very much.
Okay.
Yeah, what else do we got here? Man, shout out to Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah. Oh,
also very good on NSO.
Shout
Are you kidding me? Heck yes.
I always wanted the way that they had Mario and Luigi partners in time. I always wanted Wario and Waluigi partners in crime.
Stop. That's really good.
I always wanted that.
I can't even. I'm just like saying things to give you a moment to think of something way better. Legitimately.
I always wanted that. So that's but yeah, I don't know. I don't really think of like video game titles in that way.
What's Diddy's girlfriend? Diddy Kong? What's his little Dixie Kong Racing is what I want.
Oh,
Dixie Kong Racing. Mm-hmm.
They were working on Donkey Kong Racing. That was a thing.
Dixie Kong. I said Dixie Kong. That's what I want. Yeah. I want Donkey Kong Racing.
I'm with you. But they not only were they working on it, like on launch GameCube, like it's on the back of the box. Like,
oh snap! Really?
Like it was supposed to be a GameCube like launch title, and you can still, if you look at original GameCube boxes, it has screenshots of Donkey Kong Racing on it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Tony Baker's too much in the chat. Says Animal Crossing Murder at Town Hall. Like this is getting dark. I like it.
That'd be actually really sick though, like an Animal Crossing murder mystery kind of game.
Like a battle. No, I want Battle Royale Animal Crossing. Just all the animals on the island.
Where we drop in.
Yeah, and the water just the water levels keep rising. You're getting forced more and more to the middle, so the circle.
Think the bus driver. Who's the bus driver? Is it like Rover or whatever?
Dude,
on the bus
no
in Animal
idea.
Crossing?
What are you asking me for? I only know Cap.
Right.
Captain's my man.
Yeah.
Got his sweet songs. Oh, very good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lockless in the chat said, yes, I'd be down for a murder mystery on Animal Crossing. Donkey Kong 65, yes. I mean, look, Play Fighter 63 2/3 or 63 1/3. That's same energy.
Do you remember Super Mario 128 or whatever?
No.
You can YouTube this if you want. It was at like Space World like 2001 or something like that. They were working on a tech demo of like 128 little Marios running around, and it ended up becoming Pikmin. Basically, it was like the genesis of the Pikmin idea, Super Mario 128, and it never came to fruition. But like Miyamoto was way into the idea of like a lot of little guys on screen.
Yeah,
and
like the Matrix.
I guess so. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because like that is evident. Here it is. Yeah, Super Mario 128. This is a real tech demo from Space World 2000, and this ended up becoming Pikmin, effectively. And it's just a bunch of little Marios. And it's funny going back to Thousand Year Door because that game also has just like a lot of little guys in it, And Miyamoto was just way into that idea for some reason. Like he just loved the idea. What is this?
It says Super Mario 128, but it's just Mario walking around with like a busted ankle.
Oh yeah, he's like just dragging his ankle around. This is like The Last of Us or something.
Looks like me. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Yeah. Really cool. Okay. Well, we have, I believe this is the last question before we get into Paper Mario related stuff. CrocoKyle says, what are some of y'all's favorite Saturday morning cartoons growing up? Or just childhood cartoons in general. A couple of mine were the Angry Beavers, Rocko's Modern Life, and Pokemon. Saturday morning cartoons. I mean,
how
huge,
much time you got?
right?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, top tier. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It doesn't get any better. He-Man, Hercules was actually during the week, and that's totally
talking
old
about
school.
the Kevin Sorbo Hercules, the live action one.
No, cartoon Hercules with his friend, the half man, half horse. What is that? A centaur? Is that what that is?
I don't think I saw that.
What? Oh, it's from like the 60s or 70s or something. It's very old. Of course, yes. X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man. There was some other stuff. Did you ever watch, I think it was called Pro Stars with Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Wayne Gretzky?
Never
were
saw
on there. Oh, yeah. That was
Pro Stars?
Pro Stars. And I'm pretty sure there's like a cereal named after it as well. Like this is just classic. Let me see if Wayne Gretzky. I'm pretty sure it's called Pro Stars.
I'm looking. Yeah. It's a Canadian cartoon, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know it was Canadian. It's on NBC. Aired on NBC. Pro Stars is a cartoon television show featured on Saturday morning cartoon.
I'm sorry. On Wikipedia, it says for the Canadian soccer team, see Pro Stars FC. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Also, Sean, quick warning. It is coming. I'm getting some of that bad weather Lachlan had. So just.
Oh no.
Just a heads up. Heads up. If I suddenly disappear, go on without me. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll do my best. I didn't play the game that you want to talk about, so I guess I could talk about cartoons. Gon32 in the chat says Captain Planet. Definitely. That was probably right on after this.
He's our hero.
This is peak for me. Pro Stars is peak Saturday morning cartoon because it was a cartoon and a breakfast cereal. It doesn't get any more 90s than that. You know, you want all the tie-in together. You're going to enjoy the show. This is, Bo Jackson, football player and baseball player.
Shout outs to Bo Jackson. Yeah.
Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan, and Wayne Gretzky getting finally
all sharing the same shot there.
Man, so good. Yeah, Michael Jordan with his tongue sticking out and everything, just his hallmark move.
They love to do with the tongue out, with the arm outstretched, classic.
Yep. Very similar style. There was a show for the rapper with the baggy pants. Mr.
MC Hammer?
MC Hammer. Yeah, MC Hammer had a cartoon back in the day as well. These are some of the lesser known ones, by the way.
Yeah, you're making the deep cuts, man. I go to
the cartoons.
I go to like Thundercats and Transformers and and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I wasn't watching anything too obscure, I don't think.
I want to say there's another like boy band who got a cartoon later on as well. Backstreet Boys is too late. Yeah, it was like bands had cartoons and they would like fight bad guys with like music notes and stuff.
I used to watch it was funny when I was a kid. I wasn't supposed to watch stuff like Sailor Moon or like Hamtaro because that was for girls,
Yeah, of course.
So I would tell my parents, like, Eden, my little sister Eden, I'd be like, she wants to watch Sailor Moon, so like I guess we'll put it on for her. And then really I wanted to watch it. Yeah. So those are childhood shows.
Yeah, good for you. Care Bears, shout out to Care Bears.
Yeah, Smurfs.
Care Bear Stairs. Smurfs is weird. Smurfs was pretty weird. Of course, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and on Fridays, The Adventures of Link.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just saw. I saw a weather alert come up on my phone because it's like severe thunderstorms and stuff.
Please take cover if you need.
It'll be okay.
Why didn't Ryan warn us about this?
Where's the meteorologist on the moose when we need him?
The moose, man. He's just riding around on his moose, like forgetting the meteorologist part.
My big fear is I'm afraid that like if my power goes out, you'll be left alone, and I don't want that.
Well, I'll just say goodbye to everybody and thanks to everybody for listening. Thanks to Toxic, upgrading to the.
Hopefully not. We'll see. We'll hang out. We'll hold on as long as we can. But yes, of course. The Nintendo cartoons were huge. Like when I was a kid, like Super Mario Brothers Super Show,
Captain N.
Captain N the Game Master. Yes, of course.
Look at that. I can't see. Just right in there.
There you go.
In the chat. Yeah, Captain N the Game Master. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. Great stuff, man. Yeah, Sean will just be standing still.
Standing by myself.
Hopefully
what do
not.
I do now? Yep.
Well, okay. Well, I guess let me go ahead and talk about a little bit of Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door, shall I?
Did you stream this, Seth?
I did stream it a little bit on the All In channel, yeah, for launch day. I didn't have a lot of time. I've been just really busy this past week. I haven't had a lot of time. I have not put in nearly as much time as I would like to. Eric has already finished the game. Like, he's like, came out on Thursday, and done. It's crazy. Yeah. So just I guess a couple of like early impressions. I say early. I'm like 20 hours into this thing.
Yeah.
I've been putting every waking moment that I can. I've been spending with Paper Mario, trying to get in as much as I can. It's really good. I'm gonna make some people mad. I think I was hoping Amanda would be here because I think she would counterbalance me well with some of the hot takes that I'm gonna provide tonight, Sean. Mm-hmm. I think that the game is, first of all, it's great to have like a kind of traditional. Sean's already laughing.
No, I'm laughing because you're tiptoeing to the edge of the diving board every time, and then kind of like walk back and go, "I'm not going to tell you that it sucks."
I will. No, I don't think it sucks. Here's the deal, because like everybody's going to hear what I have to say, and they're going to immediately go to, "Oh, Seth hates the game," and that's not what I'm trying to convey. I do like the game. I've always liked this game. I think it's really good, really strong. It is a good Mario RPG. However, and it's nice to have it on Switch and everything else. However, I got big problems with it. Like I have got big issues with this game.
Uh-oh.
And I think it's kind of crazy. Like I was telling you guys this in the Nintendo Drive group chat. I was like, this has got to be one of the most overrated first-party Nintendo games of all time, I think.
Wow.
Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I've
never played it.
Well, people just glaze this game up like crazy. People say this is like one of the best GameCube games, one of the best games ever made, one of the best RPGs. I just can't agree with that, man. I just can't. There's thunder.
That thunder is wild. I thought there was like some movie moment happening and it was going to get into some song, like some, like those big not kettle drums, like those big timpanis. Oh, that's what was happening back there.
No, it is coming down outside, dude. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's, to me, like it's got a lot of charm, a lot of personality, really good writing, but like there's so much dialogue in this game. If you're somebody who does not like to read, if you're somebody who like gets bored by dialogue, like this game ain't gonna be for you, man. Like this game has got so much talking, it's insane.
Wow.
Like even more than I remembered. And the writing is good and funny and everything, but like it really, I think, kills the pace of the game when you're having to stop and just see so much text all the time. Like I just want to play, And like the combat of the game too, I think gets a lot of in its own way. If people who listen to the show will remember earlier this year, I was in a Paper Mario mood, so I replayed Paper Mario 64 on NSO, and I replayed Super Paper Mario. And both of those games are so like no nonsense,
play.
Not a lot of fluff. Like it's mostly about just kind of the experience, streamlining it, and everything. That's me zooming in on the real crew there.
That's great.
That's the real crew from Paper Mario 64. This game, I think, just gets in its own way a lot, where the combat is a lot deeper than Paper Mario 64's combat, but it's also way more involved and, to me, more slow. Like, they add just, on occasion, when you're playing the game, there'll just be a bingo slot that comes up for reasons.
Yeah,
sure, why not? There's a mechanic where the audience is watching you in combat, and it builds up this like star meter that lets you use a super move that takes like 90 seconds to use. To me, it just slows it down. Like I just want to be in it, I just want to be in the combat, and to me, it just like slows the pacing to a crawl. There's a lot of like I'm shocked at how bad the world design is. Compared to Super and 64, Like, there's so much just overworld traversal, walking back and forth. Like, chapter 3 of this game, y'all, I'm sorry. Chapter 3 of this game sucks. It's bad.
Damn.
Like, it is straight up bad. It is, the setup of it is you're in this, like, wrestling arena, and you're just doing, like, 18 fights in a row. And that's, like, the whole, like, you just do that, and that's the chapter. And I'm like, man, like, I was really hoping that replaying this game, I would come away being like, yeah, I see what everybody else sees. It is this like timeless classic, but I just
so you were going into it kind of remembering that you weren't super hot on it, but playing it anyways, hoping that you'd reverse a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Like I came into it being like, okay, I've never liked this game as much as everybody else does, but like maybe I missed something when I played it, you know, whatever, 20 years ago. Maybe I'm just misremembering. I came into it wanting to change my mind, especially since this version of the game does change some important things. Like they've created this kind of like little hub zone where you can like warp to the different areas, which does mitigate some of the backtracking. There's a couple of like very specific spots, like in chapter 4, they created a warp pipe. This is only going to matter for people who know the game. But in chapter 4, they make you go back and forth between these two areas a lot to progress through the chapter, and they made a warp pipe that just goes back and forth between the two. So good little changes like that. But like, it's still just not, you know, it's like all personality, all charm, and the actual like game design part of it, I think is not that strong compared to the other games in the series.
Wow.
And, you know, I mean, like, people complain all the time about Origami King's combat and how cumbersome it is. I'm like, to me, this game's combat is every bit as cumbersome as Origami King's. Like, to the point where, like, boss fights in this game, even though there is, like, you know, creative, you know, kind of, you know, applications of the combat, it's still pretty cumbersome to go through and do this kind of, like, labored combat a lot of the time that is just like, to me, really slow. So I don't know. I just don't think it's as good as everybody says it is. As much as I like it, and as much as I like the story and the characters are wonderful, the thing that this game does do better than any of the other Paper Mario games is the party members. They're all great. The party members are wonderful. They have so much personality, little like character arcs, little mini character arcs. This game does something really cool where they have the party members actually pop up consistently, like throughout your playthrough. So it's not just in Paper Mario 64, you kind of do a little mini story with a party member and then they just kind of go away and they're just kind of there, lifeless in your party for the rest of the time. In this game, they actually do kind of work into the plot a little bit more. So I appreciate that about the game too. But yeah, like I like everything about the game really except for like playing it, you know? And I don't know. I just think that...
So you're going to finish it?
Yeah, I'll finish it. Yeah, I mean, I'll finish it. And it's hard because like, it's the reason I like doing podcasts versus like distilling it down to like a numbered score or something like that. Because my opinion on it is nuanced. Like I do like the game overall, and the personality of the game does a lot of the heavy lifting for it, but it's got, I think, big problems for me personally, and like what I value in an RPG. And I feel like a lot of people kind of lose sight of it. Brian Eck points out like nostalgia elevates people's perception of the game or whatever. And that's certainly a factor too. I do have nostalgic feelings for this game, especially with like the music, and it's very cozy, you know.
And it looks crisp. It looks like they've kind of done
beautiful.
Some nice touch-ups to this version of the game. Like it
Beautiful.
shows very well. Like I'm listening to you, but I can see it off to the side of the screen here, and it just looks wonderful. Like it does. Yeah. It oozes charm like Paper Mario just does naturally anyways. The character design and just the nature of the fact that the set is all like all the places, the settings, all built off of paper and construction paper and cardboard and stuff like that. I love the 2D structure, 2D characters within a 3D space.
Love it.
I will always kind of fall for that, and I'm sure that's what a lot of people fall for as well. And I said it before, I love the design of Mario in Paper Mario. I love the design of Princess Peach in this. It's just absolute peak if I'm gonna draw one. And if I ever want, like, that's what I want to draw. Like, I think this is great, Mario. So yeah, I think kind of is that what you mean? Like, as far as like the charm of it, doing a lot of the heavy lifting. It's like
totally
the aesthetic of it. Yeah. You
I
just
mean,
want to
look,
be with it.
Yeah. It's great to hear that.
Holy cow. It sounds like somebody's roof is falling over next door.
It's like the Wicked Witch of the West is out there.
Hey, man, be careful. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's, you want to be in that world. You want to be, you know, there is so much charm to it that I think it's easy to kind of like overlook some of the faults with the game. And again, I am enjoying it. And I'm mostly just glad that it exists at all, because
it sounds like you're mostly reacting to the overall perception of the game more than anything, actually.
Right. Because like, I think it's okay to look at a game like this that is classic, that is beloved, and to say like, hey, like actually it's okay to reevaluate art once every 20 years and see, because you know, the opposite, if I felt the opposite, I would have loved to come on here and say like, man, I did a 180 on this game. That's what happened to me with Majora's Mask.
That was me with Skyward Sword. Big time.
Right? That's what I was looking for. I was like, man, sense. I hope I come into this game and I hope that it is like even better than I remember it. And everything else. And, you know, like Majora's Mask, I did that's probably my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
I've never done a 180 on a game like that before. I used to hate that game.
Dude, I was super down on Skyward Sword on Wii. And on Switch, I'm like, oh, what? It's the same game.
Right.
You know? I don't know.
Just with little tweaks.
I get it. Right? I totally get that.
That's what I wanted. That's what I was kind of looking for. I was like, man, I want to come into this and just be blown away. I want it to be my favorite Paper Mario game. I want to see what everybody else has always seen in this, you know, and I don't feel like I quite am getting that. Still good, still enjoyable. I'm having a good time with it. And, you know, I wish Amanda was here, because Amanda's playing it for the first time. And I think that she's enjoying it as a first timer a lot more. And she's got a valuable perspective too, because she's kind of getting into RPGs properly for the first time with stuff like Sea of Stars, which is another game that I had problems with, you know. And I do think that most people would enjoy this game. I enjoy this game. I think there is a lot to like here, but you know, I just can't glaze it up the same way people seem to. I don't think it's like a 9 or a 10, you know?
Yeah. Same days as the Hellblade reviews were coming out, you know, talking about how gameplay wasn't advanced and blah, blah, blah. And this game, 20 years old, 9 out of 10. But that doesn't really matter. I haven't played nearly enough Paper Mario games. Honestly, probably the most I played was Sticker Star on 3DS. Is
rough way to start.
Well, and that's so it's actually a really good one to bring up within this conversation, because I didn't know what a great Paper Mario game was. Maybe to a certain extent, maybe I still don't know what a great Paper Mario game is. And I remember talking to Bobby about Sticker Star, and he would go on, like a lot of Nintendo fans would at the time, saying like, I don't like the battle system and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what else would it be? I just like this. And so like coming into a series fresh, especially one, to my understanding, like this is a pretty big blind spot for me, as the Paper Mario series. Like where it seems like the battle system is what swaps out every game. Like it's pretty, seems like it's pretty different. There's some sort of gimmick involved. There's, you know, DNA that follows through. But yeah, you're not using stickers this time. You're not equipping, you know, attacks using stickers in here. It's not like Color Splash or Origami King. So I don't know, man. It looks really interesting. I might try to get my hands on it to rent, but I feel like I need to go back even to 64 though.
I would recommend, because 64 is on an SO, and I think it still holds up beautifully well all this time later. I had a great time revisiting it, and for me, like, I don't know. Like, I think Paper Mario also gets put up on a pedestal because this narrative has kind of been created about the series, like, because from Super Paper Mario onward, the series morphed from a kind of traditional RPG, because I mean, really, Paper Mario, the first game, was initially couched as Super Mario RPG 2. Like before they became Paper, it was gonna be a sequel to Super Mario RPG.
I actually have that game from last year. I should play Mario RPG.
Yeah, it's great.
I should just start because I never played it.
Oh yeah, it's really good, and like it's a great primer for the Paper Mario, the first two Paper Mario games, which are very much in line with that kind of RPG format, and the and like from that point on, when we got to the Wii with Super Paper Mario onward, it kind of abandoned the RPG thing, and the series became more of like a weird, quirky, like adventure game series.
Yeah,
where now it's more about it's more about the exploration of the world, the characters. Super Paper Mario has one of the great Nintendo like narratives ever. Like,
wow,
that game has an amazing story with like deep characters. Like when that game came out, it was at the height of me being like a gremlin online writing Mario fan fiction. And it felt like Mario goes to hell in that game. I'm not kidding.
Holy crap.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's and like Nintendo would never make a game like Super Paper Mario today. They never would. In fact, we got a note here, a question from Clayton Dwyer. Which, if any, of the other Paper Mario games would you like to see brought to the Switch? Personally, I would love to play Super Paper Mario again. That's kind of my thing. Super Paper Mario would not fly today. That is a game that is like almost like aggressive and unfriendly and kind of like makes fun of Nintendo fans in a lot of ways. In fact, there's a boss in that game that is just like a basement dwelling, like dork Nintendo fan, you know? It would not fly the same way today. But I would love to see it come to Switch personally. It's probably pound for pound my favorite of the Paper Mario games.
Yeah, I've definitely not played this one. Dang.
Yeah, this was on the Wii, and the big gimmick with this, because if you look at the gameplay of it, the kind of like movement is like stage-based, level-based, like a 2D Mario game, and you would hold it, you know, with the sideways Wii remote. But if you flip the Wii remote the other way, like pointing it at the screen, it becomes 3D all of a sudden.
Oh.
It's a really neat.
I feel like I should check my Wii collection. Like Chelsea and I combined our games, and it's very possible that this is in this house, and I don't even know it.
Yeah, I just replayed it earlier this year. I still love the game. It's really good. So, you know, I think it just comes down to like what you value in your RPGs. I personally really like that Paper Mario has become this kind of like weird little offshoot series. Nintendo doesn't make games like that. Like little adventure games, they all kind of fit into a box. Like, this is our Zelda, this is our Kirby, this is our Mario. Like, Paper Mario gets to be a little bit different every time. And I
think
love
that's Kirby to an extent. I think Kirby can kind of do that a little bit. But you're right, it's fewer and farther between. But yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Kirby's maybe doesn't fit that
like
mold.
In the modern day, like new Paper Mario games get to be a little different every time and still have a lot of that same personality. Like for me, the story of Origami King is better than the story of Thousand Year Door. Like, if Origami King just had the same combat system as 64 and Thousand Year Door, people would hold it up, I think, even higher.
I think Origami King in 15 years will be looked back on by somebody growing up with it and going like, oh, Origami King was amazing. I can totally see that happening. Yeah,
so I don't know, man. It's a weird thing for me to look at as somebody who, like, I love Paper Mario. I mean, aside from Zelda, Paper Mario is probably my second or third favorite Nintendo franchise.
Yeah.
I love these games. But I just think that the Thousand Year Door is as good as it is, maybe even great. Like, I like a lot of what it does. I can't help but feel like it's over. Yeah, I know, Yarden.
Yarden in the chat says Seth is going to start a riot with these comments.
People are going to be so pissed at me. I know. Hey.
Well, hey, look, we buried this part of the conversation into the.
That's good. People didn't make it this far anyway.
So yeah.
So, anyways.
Oh well.
I
don't want to play it, honestly. Like, that's the weirdest part about you describing in this way. It's like, I mean, I'm pretty intrigued on it.
I would love
to go back to the Wii game.
Yeah, I would love. That's the interesting thing about Paper Mario is, like, because they're all so different. I would even say that 64 is quite a lot different from Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
Like, does that not make it more interesting because these games are different?
Yeah,
you know?
I definitely think so, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like Pat in the chat says, guess I'll cancel my order of that. That's not what I'm trying to say. Like, please, people who enjoy it, I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum.
A lot of people are liking it. Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum, and I'm liking it too. I don't regret picking it up. I'm glad
you're gonna
it
finish
exists. I'm gonna finish it. Yeah, like and it's not like a hate like spite finish either. I'm not like, oh, I guess I'll finish it because I bought. Like, no, I'm having a good time with it. It's just it does have problems. You know, like it is not this perfect. You know, it's not one of the best GameCube games for me. You know, so I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at with it.
The low bar.
So yeah,
I don't like.
Don't let Amanda hear you say that.
I don't like GameCube. She's not the only one. Dude, I'm so outnumbered on the GameCube perspective, but that's for another story, another day, perhaps.
And Yarden makes the point. Little secret: many of the Thousand Year Door stands just played it for the first time this week. So,
oh, totally. Yeah.
You're probably right.
Pets is too late. Already canceled it. Thanks, Seth.
Damn. Fulia did say, Fulia said, hello team. If you've been playing Paper Mario, what has been your favorite / memorable quote so far? I'm finding the dialogue quite amusing and also shocking at the same time. For my first time playing it, I'm really enjoying Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. One thing I want to call out, one really good detail in this game is when the game starts, like Mario is brought onto his own adventure or whatever, Luigi is not a part of the adventure, right? Even though Luigi's there. Luigi's off doing his own adventure, and every time between chapters you come back to the hub city of Rogueport and you find Luigi there, and he has a new story like, oh bro, I've been totally off doing my own amazing adventure. And he'll tell you what he's been up to, and it's like clearly BS. Like it's just like these exaggerated, you know, kind of tales about how he went and like saved the princess of like the whatever, the Pudding Kingdom or, you know, whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's amazing. The dialogue, like even though there's a lot of it, the dialogue is good. But man, if you don't like to read, you're in for a rough time.
Yeah, just get prepared.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So and to the point where, you know, normally when I stream a game or something, I like to like voice act and read the lines.
Oh yeah,
sure. I was like I'm not reading this.
Yeah.
I had podcasts to record that night. I was like, I will kill my voice if I do this.
Dude, I remember back in the day playing, or more accurately, watching neighbor Matt play RPGs, and the consensus at that time is video games like that would never be voice acted because there's far too much dialogue in it. And then it wasn't that much longer that we actually did start getting voice acting, but just like that was a true belief at one point that like that we would never get it because there's too much to read. So it's just easier to write the text in there. But very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes, I don't know.
They hate the game 0 out of 10.
I guess I hate it. Yeah, I hate it. 0 out of 10.
I know, and I hate that is ultimately what a lot of people are going to hear.
That's what people will take from it.
You are definitely going to be completing a 0 out of 10 game completely optionally
that I'm enjoying and I'm happy exists and you know happily paid full price for.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good. Yeah. I like that you always have such a good critical eye on everything that you play. So I always appreciate that because it is very possible for games on Nintendo platforms to be less than perfect. Possible.
Totally. And I just want to say also, you know, and I appreciate you saying that because that is going to be lost from people hearing this conversation. I think that when it comes to video games in a lot of ways, like critiquing something is an act of love. I think that's what it
sounds like to me.
Yeah, I think that it is important that we look at things with a critical eye and that we reevaluate the way that we feel about art as time goes on. Like, I am not interested in having the same tired opinion for my entire life. You know, I'm just not. Like, I you know, some of my favorite experiences of my life with video games have come because I've chosen to reevaluate the way I feel about them.
Big time.
So, like, I invite people to do that. I invite people to, go back to these games and
RSVP,
you know,
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invitation.
That's right. RSVP.
Yeah.
S'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît.
Right. So.
Respond, s'il vous plaît. That's RSVP.
I think that's it. Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
Look at us, cultured.
We did it. Oui. Yeah. Is that offensive?
I don't know. I don't think so. But like, I don't know anymore, man. I guess I'll just speak English.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and roast me in the comments. That's okay.
Do not. No. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, do it. Who cares?
We'll do it because it's engagement.
I'll read it anyways, and I'll respond with some nonsense.
Yeah. It's engagement either way. Fuel that algorithm.
Yes, that's why we do this. That's why we state such outrageous things.
It's all clickbait, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was looking at the analytics, and I think we made $2.78 for my Hellblade review.
Oh, let's go.
So just so much engagement. Seth, you are endangered with that.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. You need
Ralphie.
to seriously, man, get to shelter. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay. Well, should I thank our patrons before we wrap up here, Sean?
Yes, only if it is in your heart, Seth.
Let's do it. Of course it's in my heart.
Yes.
It is, of course, in my heart. Thank you so much to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Join the ranks of those fine folks with a 7-day free trial to the exclusive tier where you get all kinds of exclusive content over there, like the post show that maybe is going to happen tonight if my power holds out. We'll find out. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But thank you so much to everybody who supports us over there. Thank you to our ultimate producers, Jonathan Brown, whose music can be found at linktree/pme.jib, and Cwaggy, who reminds you that the best babes are Xenobabes. Links are in the show notes. Show your love and support, won't you, to our ultimate producers? Please.
I need to play Xenoblade 2. Holy crap, there's so many games. Oh, it came up like 3 times in Carpool the last week. Xenoblade 2.
People are still going back to it.
Telling you, man. Oh,
Xenobabes are still going strong.
Yes. So
thank you to our platinum producers. Yeah.
Man, you got Imagine Dragons over there or what? What's going on, man?
Dragon Force is out there. They're thank you to our platinum producers.
Jesus, man.
Thunderstruck. How many more Thunder references can we make?
It's so good.
Thank you to our platinum producers, Robby, Bobby Miller, Tim Paullin, Smokin Joe, and Toxic. Thank you so much, you guys. And thank you to our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, BobLoblaw, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, CowboyDangerD, CrocoKyle, Dan and Luma, Dano, Emily O'Kelly, Hopple, Jan32, Patrice Millette, Peihe EP, Samuel Nestling, Shane Erickson, Tech Mike, and Tim Alf. Thank you all so much for your love and support on Patreon. Again, 7-day free trial, patreon.com/carpoolgaming. We will see you there. And we'll see
you. Thank you to whoever who was in the chat who picked up the lightning bolt in the Mario Kart game. You know what I'm saying? That's got the thunder over there. Holy crap.
It is really we'll see, man. I mean we're here right now. We're holding out.
We're testing fate by just delaying the end, honestly.
We are.
We could probably properly close this thing.
Well, Sean, I don't have any physical tonight to make up for the lack of Lockleth. I mean, I have some cough drops here.
Cough drops are good. Yep, I guess so. I got my blue 3DS XL. Almost knocked over my drink. Everybody, go grab your 3DSs. Go dust them off. Go charge them up.
Hold them in the air.
And just click them. Just test that hinge out a little bit. That's really good. That's good stuff. I've really enjoyed it. I've had a wonderful time here tonight with you, Seth.
I have too.
Miss Amanda, Miss Lockleth, but through fire, hellfire,
through the fire and the flames.
No, man. Yes.
We'll carry on.
We will. What a song, man. You can find me on, if you're going to ask, you can find me on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Join the Discord. It's free for everyone unless you're a jerk. You won't last. I promise you that much. Links are in the show notes, but you can also send me a friend request on Nintendo Switch, SW6879023666588, just like Patrick Kane and also Eric Lindros at 88, my friend. Go Oilers, Seth.
Hell yeah. Go Oilers. Hell yeah.
Oilers. Go Edmonton Oilers.
You can find me on X at $2 Hero. And my friend code, if you'd like to add me, is SW411280613454. Just like Eric Lindros. Everybody, thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below how wrong my Paper Mario opinions are.
Yes.
And I'm going to go ride the lightning, Sean.
Nice. Metallica.
Little Metallica for you.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the end?
All right. Oh, no, not yet.
Just kidding.
We need to point people. If you're watching us live on YouTube right now, twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live, where Ryan, Ron, and Nagachaka,
and probably me, honestly,
just pop in there.
Yep, because I think Seth's gonna go, protect himself.
Yeah, we might not be able to do a post show tonight, y'all. We'll see. Yeah. Anyways, so just go over there, twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live. Ryan is in the waiting room, ready to go. Immediately after we wrap up here, head on over to Twitch right now and
now.
go watch the state of play with them.
Yes.
And that'll be a great time. So, yeah.
All right.
Now we can end. So.
Okay. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Nintendo Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget to check out our awesome Nintendo Drive merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where you'll unlock all sorts of exclusive content like the Nintendo Drive post show. Links to everything are in the description. See you next week!
Beak.